Okay. Refresh this. Okay, so it looks like everything is going perfectly fine. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Malin coming at you with the Madden 23 live stream, part 4 of the Houston Texans rebuild. I've been getting better about pumping these out just about every week that I get off. Of course, this is a regular weekend for me, with Monday and Tuesday being my days off, because I've taken 2-3 day weekends, but I got to go back to work on Wednesday. So therefore, decided to pump one of these out tonight and get once again going with the Houston Texans rebuild. So last episode, we took care of things in the offseason and the preseason, and we did quite a lot of things to change up the team. So for those of y'all that didn't see the last video, I'm going to go ahead and show you what our team looks like now. And we are in the 2024 season. So we are in the second full season of the rebuild for the Houston Texans. So, of course, we got Will Levis, who won Rookie of the Year on offense last year. He's going into his second year out of Kentucky. He's a rookie quarterback. 77 overall, yes, I know is not very high, but I feel like that with the talent on offense that we were able to surround him with during this offseason, I think he can be even better, because I feel like in games like this, you can have a quarterback not be even in the 80s, but as long as you have good talent around him, I feel like that thing will be better this season. Dameon Pierce has developed really well. He's up to an 87 overall. He's our starting running back. So I really like the way that Benjamin has developed, and I feel like that's going to be huge down the stretch. Brandon Cooks is still with the Texans, despite the fact in real life he'll probably get traded during this actual offseason. He's up to an 84 overall, so that's pretty good. I am pretty confident this is the last year on his deal. So if he doesn't have a very good, maybe let's say 1,000-yard season, then we may look to just let him go. We'll say thank you for your services, and then we'll move on. Curtis Samuel is a new guy that we did sign in the offseason, 83 overall. There were higher overall receivers, but none of them really showed interest in wanting to sign with us. So I decided to go with one who probably was not going to be one that we were going to have to break the bank for. Curtis Samuel, 83 overall. I like what he does. Nico Collins had a breakout year this past year, so our third receiver I think is pretty solid there. And of course, we got Isaiah McKenzie, who was signed in the first offseason, and we've got other receivers who are decent, but they're backups for a reason. Dan Arnold is still our starting tight end at 73 overall. We're going to go ahead and rock with that. I didn't see any good tight ends on the market after the end of this preseason, and when free agency is still out there. We could bring in somebody else on a one-year deal, but I don't think we need to go with that. Now, one thing I will say is that during the season, I am perfectly open to trades and whatever it takes to make this team better. If we start out this season with a losing record through the first half of the season, like the first 7 games, that's usually what I sim through to start off every season, then I'm going to look to make some trades, because third year in the third year in the rebuild, I got to start seeing results. We won 2 more games this past season than the previous season, but this, I think, could be a playoff team, but we'll have to wait and see. Laramie Tunsil, 93 overall. We brought him back. He's going to be around for a few more years. I felt like we couldn't risk losing him. Dalton Risner, who we traded for during last season, 80 overall. Trey Hopkins, 72. Evan Brown, our right guard, 73 overall. James Blanchard at right tackle. He was one of our draft picks. Isaiah Foskey, who we drafted the previous year, 78 overall, and 77 overall Dorrance Armstrong. So defensive ends, not the best, but we did sign Ed Oliver in the offseason to a deal, 89 overall. I believe it's a 2-year deal that we signed him to. And Solomon Thomas is a decent backup defensive tackle. So defensive tackle is pretty solid now. Trenton Simpson was defensive rookie of the year last year, joining Will. So he has developed pretty well so far as what we've had him. 83 overall for him. Robert Spillane is a new linebacker we signed, 72 overall. And we also have Logan Wilson. Now, he's injured, but he'll only be out for the first game of the season. So hopefully it's not a big blowout. But Logan Wilson was our top prize free agent that we signed, 88 overall. I really like him coming to the linebacking core. And also we made some upgrades in the secondary. We signed Chidobe Awuzie, the former Cowboy and Bengal, and he's going to go on the opposite side of Derek Stingley Jr., who's up to an 82 overall. Isaiah Oliver is still here, who we signed the previous offseason. He's a 78. Thomas, 75, and Eddie Cooper, who we drafted. So, yeah, corners are pretty solid for the first three guys, but really kind of drops off from there. But I like our cornerback situation, and we did sign a better for safety in Darnell Savage. Now, Deshaun Gibson is on the trading block, 69 overall. We signed him the previous offseason, but 12 years in the league, and his overall's dipping. He either, he may retire at the end of the season, or maybe we could trade him. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens. And we got MJ Stewart backing up Savage, but we signed him 80 overall free safety. And we also have Jalen Petrie and 80 overall safety. So safeties are both in the 80s to start out the season, so I like the look of that. Jalen's developed really well, and we still have Eric Murray backing him up. Kicker, Cade York, and punter, Jamie Gillian. Those guys we signed last off-season, so we decided to keep them out. So that's the roster that we are going with to start out the 2024 season. I like the offense is a little bit better, and as far as our ratings themselves, defensively, we're an 81 overall, 89 offense, and overall as a team, we're 79. So I like the way that things are set up right now for the second full year, because I feel like that I've managed to get the team looking better and just in better shape for the future. Will that translate into wins? I don't know, but we're going to have to see. So we got our first matchup against the Indianapolis Colts and a 99 overall Jonathan Taylor. Now, the Colts last season actually were worse than us in the league, despite the fact they have probably the best running back in the game right now. So we're going to see what we can do. So we're going to go ahead and simulate to midseason and see where the Texans are at. Hopefully, we are not at the bottom of the barrel. Would it surprise me if we were still low in the league? It would not. But that would just mean that trades are going to have to be necessary, because I feel like that this team is good enough to at least be a wild card team, but got to go out there and make it happen. So hopefully we're in a decent spot by midseason. Kind of wanted to also have another year of the rebuild, because the NFL negotiation window for the offseason has started today with unrestricted free agents, and there's been a lot of news around the league today. The Chicago Bears are spending a lot of money. My Dallas Cowboys saw Connor McGovern walk away to go sign with the Bills for a 3-year deal. So, the NFL offseason really is back. Jimmy Garoppolo is going to the Las Vegas Raiders. The 49ers are signing Sam Darnold as a bridge quarterback, basically, or somebody just to back up Trey Lance, I suppose. What other big signings happened? Well, it was a big trade yesterday where Jalen Ramsey is going to the Dolphins for just a third and backup tight end from the LA Rams. So that was pretty interesting to see a trade like that. Okay, so we are 3-4 in the middle of the season. That's not too bad. And looking at the standings, a lot of other teams are 3-4. Wow. So there's three-way tie. Titans, Colts, and Texans are all 3-4. But the Jaguars, who won the division last year, are 2-5. Wow, that is a terrible look for them, because they were the best team in the division last year. They won the division, running away with it. So that is that's pretty interesting to see them fall off a cliff like that for 2024. But we are 3-4. That's a decent starting point, if you ask me. But let me just see what is going on with the team. I want to see if we have any major injuries, anything that's happened with the team this season. So we have no injuries. That's good. That's good. So let's go ahead and take a look So I want to take a look also at the team stats and see how Will is doing as well as the rest of our players. So Will, 11 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, almost 2,000 yards passing already. That's pretty good. Our running game is not looking too good right now. Dameon Pierce, for the midpoint of the season, only 326 yards, 3 touchdowns. Okay. Nico Collins is our leading receiver. 3 touchdowns from him. Curtis Samuel is having a good season. 597 yards, excuse me. Curtis Samuel, 3 touchdowns. So Brandon Cooks, 3 touchdowns too. So receivers are doing pretty well. How's Isaiah McKenzie doing? Is Isaiah McKenzie... Where is he? Where's he doing? What is... What is Zach Ertz doing on this team? I didn't turn on auto sign, so I don't know what that is. Blocking. I gotta go take a look at something. Logan Wilson's doing well. Kate York. Okay. All right. Well, I just wanted to see how our offense was looking. So, I guess we signed Zach Ertz at some point in the season. Maybe just because of there were some injuries probably early in the season, but I want to take a look at this because I did not sign him. Maybe they signed him because of the numbers. Okay, well, you know what? Even though I did not make that acquisition, Zach Ertz has a higher overall than Dan Arnold, so no complaints there. Were there any other moves that were made without my approval? Isaiah McKenzie is no longer on the roster. What happened to him? Huh. This is strange. So I want to take a look at transactions here. Let me see what we did, because I did not authorize anything, at least I don't think. League transactions. Okay, so let me see what has been going on with us. Okay, let's see. Preseason week 4. Preseason week 4. Preseason week 4. Okay, can we get to... Okay. We released Isaiah McKenzie? What the heck? Okay, Madden, I don't know what you're doing to me, but I did not want to release Isaiah McKenzie to sign Zach Ertz. 1 year, 2.6. Okay, well, the game just auto did a couple of moves for me, so okay then. Okay, well, truth be told, I was looking to make some moves anyway, so, you know what? I think we might as well just take that as a sign and see what we can do. So let me look at... So I want to take a look and see if there's anything that I can do to really improve this team at this point. I want to take a look at the trade blocks, and I want to see what we can do. Alright, well, I'm not looking at upgrading quarterback or really any of that. Let me go to... Well, fullback is not really an issue. Let me go to positions that we could really use an upgrade for. Okay, so what centers could we possibly trade for? Robert Hainsley, Terrell Foster, Jerry Kearns. But a jump to that is not very good. And there's no really good right guards that are higher than what we have, so I don't really think we can do any improving there. And the same can be said for right tackle. Blanchard 73, that's the best as far as like on the market that we can do. Okay, defensive end. This is probably where we could where I think I'm actually might be tempted to do something. Samson Ibuka and Yetur Gross Matos. I don't know who any of these guys are. However, Poona Ford is a guy that fits our scheme, so I'm going to see if we can trade for this guy. But what does Seattle want for him? Their needs are quarterback, cornerback, and center. Now, we have quite a few defensive backs that are decent. Would they take Isaiah Oliver maybe straight up for him? I don't think this will work. Trade accepted. Okay, so we made an upgrade there. I mean, I don't think losing Isaiah Oliver is that bad because of just because of the just due to the fact of we have decent 1 and 2 cornerbacks. All right, we don't need to worry about defensive end. Middle linebacker, we could use an upgrade here. Robert Spillane, 72 overall. Nakobe Dean, ooh, we could trade for him. Let's try to trade for Nakobe. Okay, so what do the Eagles really need? They need a right outside linebacker, cornerback, and left end. So, but I'm not trading Wilson. No way. Left end, do we have maybe somebody that we can spare? I don't think they would take that. Quarterback, maybe. I doubt they'll take Davis Mills straight up, but let's see. Trade decline. We don't feel this offer brings to what we're giving up. Maybe we can do Mills and a pick. Maybe a 4th round pick, possibly. I don't think this will work. Trade accepted. Okay. All right. So we do have Kyle Trask as our backup, but we made a upgrade at middle linebacker. So now we're looking better. We have Nakobe Dean in there now to 75 overall. So I like the way that things are looking there. I think things are looking better there. But everywhere else on defense, I think we're looking pretty good. Right end, we could still be better because Poona Ford is the same overall really as Dorrance Armstrong, so that didn't really bump it up very much. You know, right tackle, yes, but Blanchard looks like that he's decent, and it's a C. You know, C's. We don't really have any D's in this, so as far as our position. So I think as far as trades, I think that's really you know, the best we can really do, and as far as you ask me. So I think we're just going to rock with that. One thing I'm probably going to go ahead and do is sign another quarterback. Of course, that means we're going to have to probably cut somebody as well. But let me just go and sign somebody to be a backup QB. Just because we have Kyle Trask as our only backup, and I don't know if for some reason Will gets hurt. I don't know. Ooh, Andy Dalton is there. He's 65 overall. Matt Ryan is on the market. Mullins. No, wow. Okay, well, Matt Ryan has dropped significantly, but he's still Matt Ryan, and he's still hanging on. I'm going to go ahead and sign him, you know, for the rest of the season, just in case for some reason we have an injury with Will. So not a bad idea to have. I mean, yes, Matt Ryan's overall is only a 61, but that's fine with me. So let me check and see. Do we have any? Let me check and see once again if we have any injuries, because right now we're at 54 players. If we have a player injured, we can put them on injured reserve. I don't think we have anybody hurt. We do not. So so we're gonna have to cut somebody. I don't know who we're going to cut, but let's see. We may be able to put somebody on the practice squad, but I don't know. Jake. I wanted to trade for Gibson, but penalty you may not see. I don't want cap penalties, though. That's the problem. Can we go to... yeah, this is... no, tight ends. Jordan. Let's see. Let's just go to recommended again and see who they're suggesting. All right, we'll go ahead and cut. I don't want to cut Boone, though, because we drafted him. You know what, Gibson? We're going to have to go ahead and cut you. May have a little bit of dead money, but it is what it is. You know, Gibson, 12 years in the league, and his overall continues to drop. So let me go ahead and go to the mid-season mock draft and see right now, based on the record, we're projected to be at the end of the season. So right now, we're projected to actually have the 6th pick and take a right outside linebacker, Justin Hamilton from Georgia. That would be a solid pick for us. However, we have a good starting right outside linebacker already in Logan Wilson. And, of course, we just traded for Nakobe Dean from the Eagles. So I don't know about that, but we'll see. So now that we're at the midpoint of the season, I've made all the trades I want. I don't think I want to make any more. And I think the deadline is passed anyway, so we probably can't really make any. So we're going to go ahead and advance week by week and see what happens the rest of the season. Just had to check my phone for a second. So unfortunately we lost to the Titans. Breakout defensive line. Let's see here what our coach is talking about here. Quick note of this week's game. Keep an eye on Foskey, the defensive lineman. I know we lost last week, but he played an incredible game. If I'm totally sold on him, but if he has a repeat, I'm not totally sold on him yet, but if he has a repeat performance against the Browns this week, he might turn out to be a very, very special player. All right, I agree. So that's good. Got a breakout player. Breakout wide receiver. Okay, let's see what we got going on here. Really appreciate you involving me in the game plan, but who is this? It gets boring out there. Just running routes, keep throwing. Well, who is this, though? Oh, so it's Nico Collins. Okay. That was a glitch right there. It didn't show me who the player was. I was like, who am I speaking with over the phone? All right, let's upgrade players. And I forgot to go ahead and take a look at the negotiating screen to see what players we can look at bringing back. So we'll go ahead and take a look at that right now in Week 9 and see what guys we have in expiring contracts we may want to consider bringing back. We have $129 million in cap room. That's pretty good. Okay, so Zach Ertz is somebody that I didn't even sign myself, so I'm just going to kind of leave him alone because I don't even know if it's tempting, you know. His interest is up there, but I want to see how the rest of the season plays out with him before I want to re-sign him and keep him here. Fullback, we can always get another one. Chidobe, of course, we only signed to a one-year deal, but his overall is an 87, so I think I might want to keep him around. I don't know if this will work. Keeping him here for maybe player-friendly. Let's go ahead and make this offer. Happy to sign and continue. Okay, so we're going to go with him. I want to keep Cheeto here because he's an 87 and he's probably going to get even better. Brandon Cooks, I'm just going to have to come back to him because I really don't know. Nico Collins has played very well, and I am really tempted to give him the money instead of Cooks. So I think we're going to look to, so we're going to bring Nico back. We're going to go ahead and sign him. We're going to ink him. If we don't have a good season the rest of the year, we may have to throw out some of the big bucks in free agency, like even more than what I'm doing right now. But hey, you got to be careful with the salary cap in this game. I didn't turn that off. I kept it. So, yeah. Now, Dalton Risner is a 78 overall. His interest is kind of in the middle, so I don't know. Puna, it looks like maybe it might not have been a good idea to re-sign him because his interest is not really up there. Special teams we can come back to. Solomon Thomas. I think I want to try to get him back. So let's just see if the... Let's go with the... Okay, so the neutral one only is a one-year deal, so let's see. Okay, so we're going to bring Solomon Thomas back. His interest level is up there and is 73 overall. I think for depth purposes, it's a solid move to go ahead and ink him for another year. Evan Brown. He was a guy that we signed during free agency. So, I don't know what I want to do about him. I may have to come back to him. Roy Lopez. We can probably get another defensive tackle. Spillane we may let walk because we just traded for Nakobe Dean. Dan Arnold we may let walk because if we bring back... I can't negotiate with these guys yet, but I'm just taking a look. Of course, Ryan we signed just for backup purposes. Amari Rogers, I think I may look to bring him back because we need help. We need to continue. We need to keep some kind of core at receiver. Trask interest is up there, but we'll see. Okay, let me go back to the beginning. You know what? Zach Ertz, his interest level is up there. Let me see if we can just go ahead and bring him back. Offer's perfect. Okay, so because we've landed Zach Ertz, we're just going to go ahead and let Dan Arnold walk. We're not going to bring him back. Okay, so I finished with the negotiations that I wanted to do during this particular period. So let's go ahead and go to media questions and see what they have to say. Jonathan Coachman, what's up? You're under 500 right now, and you've watched this team struggle through the first half of the season. Turning it around as possible has to be in the mindset right now, doesn't it? We should be a playoff team, and I don't come... Yeah, we should be a playoff team. I feel like this is a playoff team. We're kind of right in the middle of the division. We have a chance to do something here, so let's go out and do it. Answer another media question. Let's see what Coachman's got to say to us now. Zach Ertz is in the final year of his contract and has turned down your contract offers at this point. Oh, well, okay. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and say what I said because it's not really applicable now because we did re-sign him. And bringing back Ertz, I really feel like is something that'll help because I think we just finally might have solved the issue at tight end. And the game kind of solved it for me, but hey, I'll take it, even though it meant getting rid of Isaiah McKenzie, but probably was for good reason. All right, so let's go ahead and simulate this week. What's our team looking like as far as overalls? Okay, so not much has changed. We're still defensively 81 overall, so no real change. The division is still very much up for grabs. We're one game behind the Colts and the Titans, so hopefully we can beat the Browns, and that'll put us in good position to catch those guys. So we beat the Browns. So we are 4-5. The Colts are 5-4. So yeah, got another message from a breakout player. Let's see what we're talking about here. Josh Morton. I'm really disappointed about Isaiah Foskey's performance this week. I thought he was going to make the jump from good to great, but maybe I had a bad read on him. Who knows? Okay, well, not going to fault you too much, Coach, because those things happen. View message about a breakout player. Let's see here. But I tell you, Coach, I said he was one of the best players on this team. Yep, you were right, Nico. Yeah, Nico Collins has developed very well. That's why we already gave you a contract, sir. You're performing very well, so we decided to keep you. You're going to be a Texan for the next few seasons, my friend. Let's go in and upgrade more of our players here. Okay, so let's go back to the negotiating table. And let's see, see what we can do. Puna 4, no. Let's see. Who was I interested in possibly? Okay. I think we can improve right guard in the offseason, so I'm not worried much about bringing back Brown or Dan Arnold now because we were able to... yeah, none of these guys that are currently negotiating, we can negotiate with. I'm going to be interested in bringing back. So I'm going to go ahead and bypass negotiating with any players for this week. And let's go ahead and we got the Lions at 3-5 coming to our place. Hopefully we can beat them and continue to stay up to pace with the Colts and the Titans. Jaguars at 2-7 are not looking so hot. I think they're pretty much out of the playoff race or divisional race, if you ask me. So yeah. Well, unfortunately, we lost to the Lions by 6. So we are back to 3rd place in the division. The Colts won again, so they are 6-4. Oh man, I feel like that. I want to take over games at the end of the season to help get this team into the playoffs, but just really want to see if the product is going to be fine. Let me go ahead and go to the standings. Let me go to the standings overall in the NFL and see where we're at in terms of playoff position. Okay, AFC. The Bills are the 1 seed, Raiders 2, Chargers, Bengals, Colts. Okay, so these are all of the division leaders right now. Are there? So Bills, so AFC East, AFC West, AFC. Okay, so AFC West, Chargers and Raiders are almost deadlocked right there. They're 1 game behind each other. Okay, so the Colts are leading. Okay, so based on the way that things are stacking up this year, as far as the wild card race, we need to do some leapfrogging because right now we're not sitting very pretty right now at 4-6. We got a bunch of teams ahead of us in the wild card race. The Colts are 6-4, so they got a good shot at already winning the division. And man, All right, let me go ahead and check the team and see if we have any injuries. That may be the reason why we've lost the last couple of weeks. I don't know, but let's see. Do we have any injuries? Okay, so we do have some injuries. Dave Good has a PCL sprain, and Puna Ford is out for 1 week. Okay, so but both these guys are only out for 1 week, so they're not serious injuries. So fortunately, we don't have any serious injuries. That's good. We don't have to put anybody on IR and go look for somebody. It's going to focus player. Doesn't need that to staff. Let's go ahead and back to the negotiating table because I think there's a player that's eligible to negotiate with this week that I was interested in bringing back. So let's go take a look at that again. Okay, DeMarcus Walker. I'm interested in bringing him back possibly. Well, you know what? No, his interest level is in the red, so I'm not interested in bringing back a guy who's... Okay, so... But next week, though, in Week 12, during the bye week, Amari Rodgers is up to negotiate with. And, you know, Nico's developed well, but Amari, I feel like, can be another solid guy. He's basically our third, fourth receiver, but we're going to need depth back there, especially if we are letting Brandon Cooks walk and we're allowing Nico Collins to take the next step. So that's kind of the direction that we're heading with this franchise, at least. Okay, so we've got a matchup against the 3-6 Patriots on the road in Foxborough. Let's see if we can pick up this win, because this is the home stretch of the season, and we got to put together some wins. And we beat the Patriots, so we are now second place in the AFC South. We've leapfrogged the Titans, so that's good. So let's go ahead and take a look at the standings and see where that kind of puts us. I don't really know exactly where it does, but let's take a look and see what we're looking like here. So the Colts are still obviously the leaders of the AFC South. But we have climbed up a little bit due to winnings at 5-6. But the Jets, Bengals, and Ravens and Chiefs are the teams that are vying for any wild card racing. So, you know, and yes, the NFL has more wild card teams, but still. Yeah. Let's go ahead and go to manage staff because we got some skill points to spend there. So let's go ahead and spend them. Let's take a look at McVay's coaching tree. We got 29 skill points. Let's see if we can spend money on anything here. Already 2 of 2 there. 50. No, that's too much there. What about on this side? 2 and 2, 1 and 1. We've spent money there. Oh, 20. After school tutoring. Let's go ahead and spend 20 points there for McVay. All right, let's go. We have 9 points still left. I feel like we can still spend some of that money other places, but let's see. 2 out of 2 there. All right. And 1 of 1. And 1 of 1. We've got. Let's see. Can we spend? Okay, so we just can't spend anymore. So we have 9 points left over. We're just going to have to use those later. McVay and Ed Green and also our defensive coordinator are really starting to get more skills built up, so that's good. Because our coaching staff needs to be upgraded just as much as our players. We need to see progression from them. Curtis Samuel is still looking pretty at an 83 overall. And not to mention, we also still have him for another season, so... if we lose Brandon Cooks, it's not the end of the world because Curtis Samuel will still be on the roster. But, you know, if there's a big name money free agent out there, like if Odell Beckham Jr. is still in the league, might make a run at him and, you know, get the big boys, get the big guns in here and get going. All right, so it's Week 12, the bye week, and let me go ahead and see if I can start negotiations with Amari Rodgers to bring him back on a new contract. So we can negotiate with Amari. Neutral. He just wants 2 years, but you know what? Let's do it. Let's bring him back for 2 years. Our cap room is diminished to $96 million, but that's okay because we need to spend money. Be stupid not to. Brevin Jordan, I think I may look at bringing him back for depth at tight end. And I think Trey Hawkins I'm going to bring back as well, and Justin Herron. But all the rest of these guys, including Kyle Trask, I think can take a walk. I'm not going to really look to bring those guys back. But we've got Amari Rodgers inked for a couple more seasons, so that's good. New ability unlocked. Let's see, who's this talking about? For James Blanchard. Tough. Let's see. Okay. So, I guess we've got that. Okay. Negotiate college players. Okay. So of course, for the bye week, let's go ahead and advance, and let's see what we're looking like for the rest of the league heading into Week 13. Okay. So we moved back to third place in the division because we had a bye week, but the Titans played, and I think it looks like they won their game. So we're back to third place in the AFC South, which means that we still got an uphill battle to climb to get to the playoffs. So let me take a look and see. Let's view the playoff picture in Week 13. This is typically where we get a chance to take a look at the playoff picture. And we are nowhere in sight. So right now, if the playoffs started today, the only team out of the AFC South would be the Colts, because they are leading the division. So we've got some work to do. Although at this point in the year we have won 5 games, but really need to keep it going. Let me go to manage. Let me take a look at the roster and see if we have any injuries. Hopefully none significant if we do. Diego Castaneda, our rookie receiver, is out for 1 week with a back strain, but that's no problem. I just worry about Will getting injured because we lose our quarterback. We're in trouble even with Matt Ryan as our backup at a 61 overall. So that's the biggest concern for me right now. But we got a very, very tough game against the Raiders. Josh Jacobs is 99 overall. What is with these running backs in the AFC getting to 99 overalls? Jeez. All right. Well, our overalls have gone up just to, 81 as opposed to, the Raiders at an 84 overall offense. Hopefully we can get an upset this week at home against Vegas. I don't really think so, but let's see what happens. Oh, we picked up an upset win over the Raiders. Damn, 42-21. Whoa, we spanked them big time. That's a big win. And that brings us to 500 at 6-6. We're tied with the Titans for second in the division. That's good. Let's go ahead and take a look at the playoff picture. I'm pretty sure not much has changed. So the Titans are now in position as a wild card team. Okay, so that is a little bit intriguing in terms of positioning for us. Okay, so view weekly awards. Did we pick up an award this week? Will Levis won AFC Offensive Player of the Week. 405 yards through the air, 4 TDs, a rushing touchdown against the Raiders in a big matchup. So good job to the former Offensive Rookie of the Year for playing well. So that's good. Very good. All right, let's go back to the negotiating screen and let's see if we can start with some of the players at the end who I was still interested in taking a look at. Pretty much everybody. Oh, yeah, Brevin Jordan. I want to bring you back. Neutral, team-friendly. Let's see if he'll go for the team-friendly deal. If not, the bonus offers me questioning whether he wants to play or not. Okay, all right. We lowballed him, but it didn't work. Trey Hopkins, though, I am interested in bringing him back for backup purposes. Neutral. Good offer. Okay, so we're bringing back Trey Hopkins for 1 year. That's cool. So we've got him. Justin Herron. Can't negotiate with. I might look to bring him back, but I think that's it. And we'll try again with Brevin Jordan next week. We'll probably just have to give him what he wants and keep him on the roster for depth, just to continue to develop him because we did draft him a few years back. But we got a big matchup against it's not really a big matchup because the Jaguars are 3-9 and they're in the basement of the division, but it still matters. All right, let's take a look at the standings here and let's see what everything's looking like. So obviously with the Titans now being in the playoff picture, that indicates to me that we're not far away from fighting in the divisional race. Gosh, we are right there with the Titans, but they beat us earlier in the year, so they have the 1-0 advantage on us in terms of division record. So the next time we play the Titans will be big, and it may be our last game of the season. Very may well could decide if we go to the playoffs or not. The Jets. Yeah, okay. All right. Alrighty then. So, let's see. Did we pick up any more injuries? Hopefully we did not. Let's see what would happen here if we have any injuries. Improved team. No, I don't want to do that. I don't know why I don't know why I clicked that screen by accident. Roster. There we go. It was one below. I looked at it too quickly and I thought I saw it, but I didn't. Christian Harris, strained a shoulder strain. He's out for 1 week. Okay, but that's not the end of the world. He'll be only out for a week. So we've had injuries this season, but nothing been really serious. So that's good. We've remained relatively healthy for the most part this season. So that's pretty good. All right, we can't falter down the stretch against the Jaguars. Let me take a look actually at our schedule and see. Let me go to team schedule here because I want to see something. Okay, so we played the Titans and we lost to them in week 6, excuse me. Vikings. Oh, so we don't even play them in the last game of the regular season. That's against the Minnesota Vikings. Jeez, okay. So we've played the Titans both times already? Well, we have, and we lost to them both times, so that doesn't really help us. Okay, well, we have the Jaguars, and we do have the Jaguars again, so hopefully we can win both of those divisional games to help us out a little bit. And also, one thing that kind of doesn't really play in our favor is that in terms of AFC conference records, we don't have – those are the only 2 AFC teams we play for the rest of the season, and they're also in our division. So things are not looking super great. They could be better, but okay, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. All right, well, hopefully we can get this win against the Jaguars. If we lose, something tells me we're all but out of the playoffs. I got a feeling. But hopefully we get it done against Jacksonville this week. We did. We beat them by 7. But unfortunately, we are still 3rd place in the division. So we didn't really move because of this win. That's unfortunate. I don't really know if any other AFC teams are going to slip in the overall AFC standings, so that's concerning to me. And we do have the Jaguars one more time, so let's go ahead and take a look at the playoff picture, see if anything changed. It probably hasn't. Yeah, the Titans aren't even in the race anymore. So that is concerning to me. The Jets have leapfrogged them. And let me check and see what the Jets' record is, because something tells me that it's significantly better than ours. And by significantly, I mean 1 or 2 games above us overall. Let's see. Jets are 7-6. Well, we're also 7-6. I think we played the Jets this season and lost to them. That might be the reason. What is the Titans schedule looking like? I got to take a look at their schedule. I feel like let me take a look at their schedule and see who they have left. Then again, I don't know how tough their opponents are, but because then again, we're in a whole new season of we're in the 2nd season of this. So let's see. What is the Titans schedule looking like? Okay, so they have the Jaguars, so that'll be a win. They have the Dolphins. I don't know how good the Dolphins are this season, but I have to imagine that's not easy. They do have to play the Colts. They may get blown out by the Colts, so that may help out. Hopefully they lose. And hopefully they lose to the Patriots. So, pretty big. Pretty big games coming up. Regardless of if we're in the playoff hunt or not, still going to play the final game of the regular season just like I did last time. Because I, of course, going to want to play one regular season game with this group to see, you know, just what I have. Okay, well, let's get back to more negotiations here. So let's go ahead and give Brevin Jordan what he wants. He wants a, you know, he just wants a neutral offer for 3 years. But that's a lot to invest in him. But let's see. Good offer, okay. All right, well, we're down to 90 million now, so we've spent some money during this period, but it's okay. I want to bring Justin Herron back for depth purposes on the offensive line, so let's give him a 1-year deal. He ain't asking for anything. So, yeah, we're going to bring him back on the cheap. So no issues there. And I think that's really it. I really don't have any interest in bringing back Kyle Trask. We can obviously sign another decent backup besides Matt Ryan. He may retire at his age, 39 years old and a 61 overall. He really doesn't have any market for him anymore as a starter. So I don't think he'll be garnering much interest from anybody. I'm debating about whether maybe I should bring back Spillane, but, you know, we just traded for Dean, so I don't think I really want to bring him back. We could bring back Roy Lopez, but I don't know about that. And I think I really want to get more offensive linemen in the higher 70s because I just feel like that's going to make a big difference on offense. Dalton Risner's interest is up there, but what does he want? Like, does he want multiple years? He wants a 2-year deal. So let's go ahead and just bring him back. Why not? We're down to 86 million, so we're spending money out here, but hey, you got to spend money to do what you want to do. And Brandon Cooks is probably going to be asking for a lot of money, so I just don't really think it's worth it to bring him back. I don't. We may be able to sign somebody better in the offseason. So with the money we save, maybe we can bring in somebody more significant. Maybe a higher overall than him, but we'll see. Okay. But the Bears are the Bears are 9-4. Oh my goodness. Wow. Talk about a rebuild on their end. Their rebuild's going pretty well over there in Chicago. Let me go ahead and take a look at any injuries we have. Hopefully we do not have any serious injuries. I was worried about that. Okay, so Roy Lopez is injured for 2 weeks, and Justice Boone is injured for a week. But that's okay. Those are not very significant, and we do have, you know, a decent depth of defensive line. So I think we're okay. We'll be okay. All right. Well, hopefully we do not get blown out by the Bears. Something tells me we're going to probably lose this game. We didn't. We beat the Bears 27-24. Let's go. What an upset. How about that? And we got some skill points to spend on the staff. All right, view playoff picture. Let's see what we're looking like, if anything. Okay, so the Titans have fought their way back into the playoff race, so that's kind of encouraging. But the division record, what are we looking like? We're 8-6, but so are the Titans. Ugh. Well, I can say this. We've already improved our record from last year. We've won 8 games, so that's more than we won last season. So even if we don't make the playoffs this year, we're once again seeing progress. My goodness, if we could just leapfrog the Titans, we'll be able to maybe somehow squeeze in as a wild card team. But the Titans don't have very many difficult opponents left, so I just feel like that they're going to be able to, you know, not lose any games the rest of the season. Anyway, let me go to the negotiation screen just to take a quick look and see if I want to bring anybody else back that maybe I wasn't interested in, but now I want to try. We can bring in a new fullback. Fullbacks are expendable in this game. We can sign somebody better than you know, maybe in a 74, or we can just sign somebody who's in the 60s and we'll be fine. A fullback is barely utilized in the NFL nowadays. Unfortunately, we may not bring back Poona Ford because his interest is not up there. Yes, he's a 76, but it'd take a little bit to bring him back. And we'll get new kickers and punters during the offseason because we can always do that. Evan Brown, Roy Lopez, Spillane. Yeah, I think I'm just going to let these guys walk. Yeah, everybody else is walking. I'm not gonna sign any of those guys. I'm not gonna worry about it. Okay, so we got the Packers 8-6. I'm guessing Aaron Rodgers is still on the team. You know what? Just for my own curiosity to kind of get an idea about, who's in the league and who's being the big guys out here, let's take a look at the league stats here. Let's take a look at the league NFL. So Josh Allen is leading the league in passing. Mahomes, Russell Wilson, Joe Burrow, and Will is Will is a beast. He is a beast. He's developed so well for this offense, and I think the Sean McVay factor has been a big difference to help with his growth and development. Already over 4,000 yards. He'll probably make the Pro Bowl this year with those stats. 26 TDs, only 7 interceptions. Wow, that's pretty impressive. And the guys that are second and third, I mean, Russell Wilson has 14 and Mahomes has 10 of them. So Will is protecting the ball very well. That's a big reason why we actually have a winning record this year. So that's an accomplishment in itself. We have a winning record this year. We're doing better even if we don't make the playoffs. So that's very encouraging. Dak, of course, is still doing his thing in Big D. Jacoby Brissett is in Carolina. Jameis Winston's a Charger. Brandon McKenzie, because Jalen Hurts no longer plays with the Eagles. I think that's stupid to let him go. Daniel Jones is a Washington Commander. Wow. Derek Carr's still with the Raiders. Okay. Two as a Falcon. Okay. Deshaun Watson is still on the Browns. Okay. Jaron Hall. That must be a quarterback that the Buccaneers drafted after Brady retired. Actually, I can't say that because Brady went to the Patriots and then retired. So, yeah. Trevor Lawrence. And yep, Aaron Rodgers is still a Packer. Doing okay, but 32 touchdowns, 12 picks, man, 19 years in the league, Aaron Rodgers is still throwing darts. Oh, man, he is the next Brady. Kyler Murray, Bryce Young is a Giant. Yeah, the Giants were able to draft Bryce Young. They had a terrible record the first year of the rebuild, so they got him. Jimmy Garoppolo's a Saint. C.J. Stroud is a Lion. He's resurrecting them. Ben Reyes is a rookie. He'll probably be Rookie of the Year for the Seahawks with a stat line like that. Justin Herbert's a Steeler. Hendon Hooker. That's a Tennessee quarterback. Adam Higgins, Fresno State rookie. Yeah, Trubisky. Okay, so what about running backs? Where are the running backs at nowadays? Is Ezekiel Elliott still playing with the Cowboys? I don't know at this point. Derrick Henry, Saquon, Jonathan Taylor, Josh Jacobs, Aaron Jones. Looks like a lot of the top running backs have stayed on their respective teams. Travis Etienne, Christian McCaffrey, Tony Pollard's a Raven. Okay. Joe Mixon, Alvin Kamara. Zeke's still a Cowboy, but showing that wear and tear a little bit, just like in real life. But finally, couple years later, Kenneth Walker, Kareem Hunt's a Panther, okay. Breece Hall, Brian Robinson Jr., Austin Eckler. Running backs really have kind of stayed put. Dameon Pierce, 750 yards rushing, so his rushing stats have gotten better. He's got 7 TDs on the year. Receiving, is Nico Collins up there? Nico Collins, third in the NFL in receiving. 1,355 yards, 9 touchdowns. Man, Nico is a beast. Looks like a lot of the top players in the league have stayed with their teams. Looks like there hasn't been a whole lot of turnover with like the high overall guys. So pretty much kind of the same NFL, just a little bit of a difference with some of the players, but still looking like the regular NFL. All right, but we got to face 19-year veteran Aaron Rodgers. I hate that man so much. He just owns Dallas. And of course, he had a party on our defense, so we lost. And but the Titans also lost. So that's a new development. So we're 8-7. The Titans are 8-7, but that doesn't mean that we've leapfrogged them by any stretch. Yeah, the Titans aren't even in the playoff hunt anymore. The Jets are in the hunt now, so I hate to say it, but I think let me go to standings. So we only have 2 more games left in the season. So let me go ahead and take a look where things are in terms of the playoff hunt. I don't think it's going to be pretty. Bills, Ravens, Chiefs, Raiders, Jets. Okay, so obviously the Titans are still ahead of us in terms of the playoff race. We still have 2 games left against Jacksonville, who I know is not very good this year, and also the Vikings, who I don't think are, who I'm not sure how good they are, but we'll have to see. Let's go ahead and upgrade players. Looks like we got some practice squad guys to take care of, so we'll get to that at the bottom. Excuse me. Upgrade Blanchard. That's good. Let's see here. We've done all the negotiating that I want, so I'm not even going to flirt with any negotiating during that time. All right, so we got all the practice squad stuff done. That's cool. So we're going into let's see. Let me go to roster and take a look at the injury report. See if we got anybody out for the last 2 games of the season. Potentially. Nope, no injuries. Good. Okay, so we've got 2 games left. We'll probably beat the Jaguars for sure. Advance week. Hopefully we don't lose to the Jaguars. If we do, I mean, we may already be we're probably already out of the playoff hunt, but still. All right, we beat the Jaguars by 24 points. Jesus Christ, that is a big win. All right, view standings. Okay, well, I don't think we're gonna be anywhere in here. We are, however, I don't think we're in the playoff hunt. Let's go ahead and take a look at the playoff picture. Let's see here. Going into the final week of the regular season, let's see. We're in the playoff picture. Oh my goodness. Okay, so wow. Okay, this is huge. Okay, so if we win against the Vikings, we've probably all but secured our playoff spot. The Jets are not even in here anymore, so playoff chance, playoff opportunity. Here we go. Wow. Okay. All right. I'll tell you what. That gets me hyped up. I'll tell you what. So, yeah, this is a big regular season matchup to end it. Okay. Let's go to upgrade players. Let's take care of our guys. Let's go to upgrade Simpson, Stingley Jr., and some other guys. Okay. I wish this game was against a divisional opponent, but it's not. So it is what it is. Got a new ability unlocked for Simpson. Wow. Shutdown. Man, Simpson has developed very well since we drafted him in the first full year of the rebuild. 86 overall left outside linebacker. Just great. Just great to see it. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and take care of these practice squad players that have signed. Okay. Do I play the final game of the regular... Oh, my gosh. Okay. Well, we're in the playoff hunt. Let me look at the standings really quick to see if we were to lose. Who's the next team that... Is there a team that has a similar record as us who could leapfrog us to get in the playoffs? The Raiders. 9-7. So they've slipped a little bit. We got blown out by them earlier in the year. Actually, no, we beat them. I'm thinking about another team. Okay, all right. Well, let's. I'm gonna trust it. I'm gonna trust it. If we don't win, then maybe we're not in the playoffs, and maybe this is the end of the. Maybe this is the end, potentially the end of the live stream. We'll see. I'm not sure how long I've been streaming for, but probably almost an hour. So let's see. Advance week. Moment of truth. Did we make the playoffs? Did we hold on? Are we a playoff team? And are we going to beat the Vikings to secure our playoff spot potentially? We did. But we didn't make the playoffs. Oh my goodness. I should have played that final game of the regular season. Oh man. Well, unfortunate. Let's view the playoff bracket. The Titans are in and we are out. It must have been because they beat us both times in the regular season, but we beat the Vikings. So, all right, well, we beat the Vikings, so even though we won, it doesn't matter because we finished third in the division. But you know what? We improved. We won. We had our first winning record in the second full season of the rebuild, which was very encouraging. We went 10-7, so we finished with a winning record. We improved a lot this season, if you ask me. This was a big step forward. Hopefully we can get in the playoffs next season, but yes, it's unfortunate. All right, well, let's take a look at the let's advance and see if we had any guys that maybe made the Pro Bowl. You know what? I'm gonna make up for this. If we've got guys that play in the Pro Bowl this year, I'm gonna go ahead and play that game because I actually haven't played the Pro Bowl in this mode. So yeah. So let's go ahead and take a look at the playoffs and see what happens. I didn't even review the playoffs for the wild card round. Okay, so first round of the playoffs are done. The wild card is done. So we had some upsets. The Titans upset the 2-seeded Bills, 20-9. The Ravens beat the Chiefs. We had the Raiders over the Bengals, and on the NFC side of things, the 49ers beat the Saints, the Cowboys beat the Panthers, and the Packers beat the Bears. Nothing surprising about that. So for the divisional matchup, we got the Cowboys, the Packers, and we got the Niners and the Seahawks. And on the AFC side of things, we got an AFC South divisional matchup. Not for regular season, for the divisional round. Colts against the Titans, Raiders against the Ravens. So let's see who advances to the conference championship games. Let's see what happens there. All right, let's take a look and see what happened in the divisional round. Let's see who's moving on to the championship game. So the Colts beat the Titans by 7. The Ravens beat the Raiders by 7 as well. So tight matchups in the divisional round in the AFC side. So we've got the Colts and the Ravens in the AFC Championship. 49ers, they lost to the Seahawks, and the Packers well, I say no, I thought that was 25, not 35. Packers beat the Cowboys 42-35. Man, that's a very high-scoring game. So NFC Championship, we got the Packers and the Seahawks, and the Colts against the Ravens in the AFC Championship game. Interesting couple of matchups. All right, well, let's go ahead and advance and see who's going to the Super Bowl. All right, and we have got a Colts-Packers Super Bowl, looks like. So let's go ahead and take a look at what happened in the championship games. So the Colts beat the Ravens very, very badly, 35-14. That's a blowout. And the Packers beat the Seahawks. So we've got a Packers-Colts Super Bowl. How about that? In what may very well be the final game of Aaron Rodgers' career. We'll see if he decides to stay or go. Practice squad player signed. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the Pro Bowl roster. Did we have any Texans that made it? Any Texans? Allen, Mahomes, Henry, Harris, Jacobs. Blossingame, our fullback, made it. Okay. Nico Collins made his second straight Pro Bowl. Congratulations to him. All right, very cool. We got any other Texans in here? No tight ends. Laramie Tunsil made it. Any more? Let's see about defense. Francis, Garrett, Hayward, no. Henry, Mack, Sertan, Milton. Any corners? Free safeties? No. Okay, well. Oh, our punter made it. Gilligan? Yeah. So he made it. Okay, well. We have a couple of Texans that made the Pro Bowl. We've got Blossom Game, our fullback, Nico Collins. We've got Laramie Tunzel in there, as well as our punter, um, Gilligan. Gilligan's Island. Gilligan, excuse me. Sorry, it's too much like Gilligan. No offense to you, Gilligan. All right, well, unfortunately, I screwed up by not playing the final game of the regular season when we didn't make the playoffs, so I'm going to go ahead and play the Pro Bowl. Let's see. Actually, the AFC do not currently have an offensive coordinator. Try again once your opponent signs a what? What kind of what the heck? Play Pro Bowl. Play full game. What is going on? Once your opponent signs an offensive coordinator, so I can't play. What kind of glitch is this? Manage staff? Do I have to like go to the staff and like adjust some? Wait a minute. So no, I don't understand what's going on. Okay, well, so I have to sign a. The AFC do not currently have an offensive coordinator. Try again once your opponent signs an offensive coordinator. Okay, this is retarded. I don't understand why they're not letting me do this. I shouldn't say retarded, but seriously, I know it's just the Pro Bowl, EA, but what is this? So I can't play the Pro Bowl? Okay, I feel like I'm missing something here. Okay, do I need to go back to the Pro Bowl roster and do something? Maybe the NFC coaching staff fired their offensive coordinator and they didn't sign him or something. I don't really know. Very strange. Well, unfortunately, we're just going to have to sim. If they're not going to let me play it, then no choice but to sim. Okay, well, let's go ahead and upgrade players. Maybe we have the guys that play in the Pro Bowl. Maybe we'll upgrade them. Nico, yeah. Hope you had a good Pro Bowl. I wish I could have played as you, but this game is acting a fool. I don't know what's going on. Okay, well, let's see who wins this Super Bowl. Oh, wait, yearly awards. Do we have anybody up for any awards this year? Most likely no, but let's see. MVP race. Did we have any? Man, Will Levis finished 10th in the MVP race. How about that? Coach of the Year. Sean McVay, 2nd for Coach of the Year. All right. For a team that didn't make the playoffs, but that's pretty good. He's done a lot already for us. We're keeping him around for sure. NFL MVP. All right, let's go to the AFC side of things. Offensive Player of the Year. Do we have anybody that was close to earning that award as well? Nico Collins came in 4th place. Defensive Player of the Year. We had Logan Wilson in 9th place. Okay, Offensive Rookie of the Year. We probably didn't have any rookies. No. For Defensive Rookie of the Year, no. Nobody there. Best QB. Will finished 8th. All right, best running back. Pierce wasn't anywhere in here. Nico Collins second to Stephon Diggs for best receiver in the conference, best offensive lineman, best defensive lineman, nowhere to be found, best linebacker. Logan Wilson made that. DBs. Nobody there. Best kicker. Cade York finished 10th. Okay. All right, well, no awards for us this year, but that's okay. Moving on. So let's go ahead and advance the week and see who wins the Super Bowl. And the Packers are world champions. Let's take a look at the Super Bowl recap. See what happened. MVP goes to Aaron Rodgers. So, congratulations to the Green Bay Packers on winning the Super Bowl. And the Colts won the division, and they made it all the way to the Super Bowl. So now, kind of like the Jaguars last year, that there's a team in our own division who we are aspiring to beat and make the playoffs. So that'll be tough. Scout college players. Staff moves, I don't want to make any staff moves because we had a good year. We went 10-7, so our staff is going to remain in place. Now it's all about just taking the next step this upcoming 2025 season in year 3 of the rebuild. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to mock draft 3. This is the final mock draft before we enter the full off season. So let's take a look and see. We'll probably be in the low. This is the first time we're going to have a pretty low pick in this rebuild. So we have the 18th pick, and they have us projected to take Evan Dukes, a speed rusher out of Oklahoma. I think that would be actually a pretty good player for us to go with, or Will Reddick, or Zeke Clancy. Actually, you know what? With Logan Wilson still there, I may not flirt too much with the right outside linebacker. We need some help on the defensive ends front this year. Defensive tackle is solid with Ed Oliver in there. And we brought back Solomon Thomas, but Evan Dukes, I think, may be the pick. I think we may just stick to our guns with what the mock draft has said and go with him as our first-round pick. Because I think that defensive line could use some improvement there. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at retirements and see who is hitting the old dusty trail. All right, so let's see about our retirements. I already see it. So the only retirement we had is Matt Ryan retires after 17 years. We signed him on as our backup quarterback after we traded Davis Mills as part of the Nakobe Dean trade, which I think will work out for us for the next season, hopefully. So, oh wait, I didn't mean to exit. I want to take a look and see who else retired. Let's take a look here. Oh, I hate when you make a mistake in these menus and then it just lags and then you have to wait until it settles down and then you can go back to the next to the other menu. It's kind of annoying, but whatever. All right, let's go back to retirements. I want to take a look and see who else retired. All right, NFL. Let's go to. Oops, no, let's retire. AFC. Let's go by division. That makes things easier. Cameron Hayward retired. Morgan Moses. So Taylor Lewan retired after 11 years. Brian Beluga retired after 15 years. So in our division, we have 2 offensive linemen that left. Brandon McManus retires. Von Miller retired from the Bills. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. So he retired after 14 years in the NFL. Chandler Jones, Jordan Poyer, Russell Wilson retired. Oh, man, the Broncos got some rebuilding to do at quarterback this offseason. Harrison Smith and Justin Britt retired. Okay. DeMarco Davis, Levante David retired. Darius Slay retired. Matt Fire, I don't even know who that is. That guy's never played for the Cowboys. I do not know who that is. And Zach Martin and Tyron Smith retired. Well, congratulations, guys. We'll see y'all in the Hall of Fame. Thomas Morstead retired. And that's really it. So no real significant retirements, if you ask me. Yeah, probably most significant, Harrison Smith, maybe. Taylor, Cameron Hayward, I think. Well, a lot of these guys are also free agents. Nick Foles retired after failing to find an NFL team, I suppose. Are there any, like, free agents that have, like, retired? Patrick Peterson retired? Wow, nobody picked him up? I guess his overall really dipped if nobody took him. Well, Deshaun Gibson, no surprise, retired. So if we kept him, he would have retired anyway. Marvin Jones retired. Autry, Jason Verrett. All right, these guys are kind of low in guys. Andy Dalton retired. Nobody wanted to sign him, so I guess he decided to retire. I've noticed when franchise, a lot of players who are free agents that are like 10 plus years in the league that usually don't get signed, that are in the low overalls, just call it quits because they don't want to drag on the game. They want to allow like other players to be in the league, I think. I think it's just the way that the game is modified and the way it does things. So it's a simulation football game. What do you expect? All right, so this is the last chance to negotiate with players. However, let me just check one more time really quick. But however, I really don't think that we are going to be looking to bring back any of these guys because we've really already made our decisions with who we're going to bring back. And we already re-signed everybody who I think that we want back. But let's see. Yeah, we're not going to bring back any of these guys. All these guys are going to walk. The only question mark I have that I somewhat question just a little bit is Brandon Cooks. Nico Collins has developed very well, but he's still only up to like in the low 80s. So I don't know. And we signed him to a long-term deal because he's had 2 very big breakout seasons. He's been our breakout receiver for the last couple of years. Is he ready to be our number 1 receiver? I still don't really know about that. I think he can be, but I still feel like the receiver needs to be something that we address in the offseason. I really want to give Will just an absolute dynamic beast of a receiver other than Nico Collins to really just continue to elevate his game. Even though he's played better every year. He's progressed really well. So I've been very pleased since we drafted him as a rookie. All right, so let's go ahead and advance to the week. And let's go ahead and this is going to take us to another off season. So my apologies for not having any gameplay during this live stream because we're pretty much reaching the portion where I'm going to kind of go ahead and wrap it up. Just because this is the end of the season. So unfortunately, I couldn't have any gameplay during this. I should have played that final game against the Vikings, but to recap, we had a better year this season. We finished 10-6, so we did see improvement. But next year has to be a playoff season. We're right there on the edge. I did all simulations. I simulated really the whole season week by week. Made some trades, yes, but I think those trades really helped out in the end. Our team as a whole has gotten better, so I think that we can take the next step next season and hopefully be a playoff team. It's going to be tough, though, because right now the Colts and the Titans are the 2 teams that we have to worry about for next season. The Colts still have Jonathan Taylor, and he's a beast of a running back, so I don't think he's going to regress anytime soon. And Derrick Henry is still with the Titans, so we have tough sledding with those 2 teams for next season as well. So we're really going to be worried about the Titans this next season, so we got to dethrone them as the runner-up in the wild card round. So that's where I'm going to leave it. So thank you all very much for tuning into this live stream of my Houston Texans rebuild. Really trying to be consistent with these videos. I've started these rebuild series before and I've never finished them, but I'm really trying with this Houston Texans one. I'm really trying to turn the Texans into a playoff team. It's taken me a little bit longer to do it than I would have suspected, but you know what? We just finished only the 2nd full season of the rebuild, and we're going into the 3rd year coming up anyway with the full off season and full regular season. So I'm still giving myself hope because I really think I only want to give this about 4 or 5 seasons at max to try to lead this team to a deep playoff run or maybe even a Super Bowl championship. And that's what I'm hoping for. But in the meantime, thank you all for checking out the live stream. Hope you guys had a great Monday. This is your boy Maitland, and I'm out. Y'all have a good night.